Hello and welcome to the first annual Whatie Awards. This is the Whaties. This is where me, Shane Stewart, and my co-host...
I didn't know we were doing an award show, dude.
This is Spencer Elwood, and we make up What Is Us. We will be discussing our favorite things of the years and
I didn't watch any movies this year.
That's not true. I think he has. This is the Whaties, and we'll be giving out awards right after this break. So the Whaties.
The Whaties.
So we decided that we wanted to do kind of like a year-end wrap-up of some of our favorite stuff.
Yeah, I used to do like a top 10.
Yeah.
But I kind of got disillusioned a little bit with ranking stuff.
Right.
And then I would just kind of like on Instagram, I would post like the poster or album artwork or book cover of like my favorite first time watch stuff of the year. So it could be things that didn't come out any given year, but like were older, but first time I viewed them. But now we have a podcast.
And our opinions are immediately correct because we have a podcast.
Mine slightly more than his. I have a film degree. I apologize. No. So yeah, we decided to do this. We decided to start an annual thing called the Whaties.
Yep. We cannot confirm that the awards will be the same every time. I have a feeling this will be kind of a moving target.
Yeah, next year, we're just going to do our favorite trips to Whataburger awards. It's not even going to be about movies.
Yeah, our favorite burger joint, Whataburger, again.
Yes, exactly. The awards will be kind of loose as we come up with fun stuff. In any given year, it can be different. Like this year, a little bit the year of the genre film.
A little bit.
Specifically horror and then just like massive blockbusters.
Yeah.
Great year for those two.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, horror, I think we've like a banner year.
Yeah.
Like a decade defining year for horror.
Yeah.
Already.
This year's jersey is going up in the rafters.
Truly it is. I mean, and on top of that, we had movies like surprise movies that ended up being great. I think 2022 was just a banner year for movies.
Yeah.
Easily the best since 2019.
Yeah.
And obviously there's reasons for that.
Yes. Well, what are those reasons?
Oh, you didn't hear? Oh no. So this is now a medical podcast.
One thing that I just up front, I don't know how we have not revealed our picks to each other yet. We're going to be discussing these. We're going to have some winners, and then we'll have some like runner-up, kind of like honorable mentions. We're going to be pretty fast and loose with the structure of this. And one thing I kind of want to say up front, I'm not super, I don't know if you feel any different. I'm not super differentiating between best and favorite. I think like, do you understand what I mean? Like, because there's a difference between my best, like the best of something and my favorite of something, and I'm not super differentiating between the two.
I am not either. There are some that I do think are like my favorite and the best, but like at the end of the day, who cares? Whatever you have an emotional response to is going to be the thing you pick. So like, go with it. Who cares?
I think that's a great way of defining it. It's just like whatever moved you, wherever your heart went.
Yeah, like some of these I very much looked at and was like, okay, this wasn't my favorite movie of the year, but this thing in this movie was so impactful, it blew me away. I had to talk about it.
And also up top, this will not be. We will probably do an episode about the Oscars this year. We'll probably do our own like pick 'em kind of thing. I don't know. We haven't exactly decided what that's going to look like. So this is not exactly taking the place of that. We will probably be doing, if not a complete episode about the Oscars, we'll at least have a section talking
We usually play an Oscar picking game. With our own rule point system and all this fun stuff.
We should release that rule thing. We should release that.
We will, yeah. That's a good idea.
And make it a play along kind of thing.
Bet. I'm super excited.
That would be super fun.
So yeah, that's probably what that Oscar one will be, or some variation of us picking what we think is actually going to win, being a little more like, here's how the Academy works. Let's pick and that.
Yep.
This is purely us celebrating our favorite things from this year.
Yes. Very worth differentiating.
Yes. And I think we were going to start with a couple of non-movie related things.
Yeah.
Because
there's a lot of cool art in the world, and we want to talk about other things than just.
As you like to
We also,
say,
we didn't decide. Did we? We never picked a TV show or anything like that. We kind of could have, should have, would have. Should
you
we
want me
not?
to? I'll throw a couple out there just from stuff I've watched.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer had a great season 2.
Yeah.
A weird season 2 because it was only really like half a season 2. Demon Slayer's cool. My Hero is in the throes of season 6, and it is, in my opinion, an upturn from season 5.
Yeah.
I'm super in. In terms of like live action, actual things that I think a lot of people will watch, Peacemaker was shockingly great.
Yeah.
James Gunn's Peacemaker, who, if you've seen the Suicide Squad, they made a show after that about the guy who seemingly died in that movie.
Yep.
That show was awesome. Barry season 3 was unbelievably good.
Yeah.
The Boys season 3, a great year for season 3.
Great year for threes.
The Boys and Barry both killed it this year.
This year, Better Call Saul ended, right?
It did, and here's my tragic story about that. I was waiting. I was like, I'm not going to watch Better Call Saul till it's all out. I can watch it all because that's what I did with Breaking Bad. And I knew it was ending, and I thought it would be on Netflix sooner. So
Was it not yet?
No.
Oh, it's still.
So-
I thought you finished it. Oh
Nope.
no!
I started it. I watched all the way to season 5, and it's still not on Netflix as of the beginning of 2023.
Rip.
And I hurt every day because of that.
Yeah, as you should.
Jokes on me.
What would Vince Gilligan say?
He would probably tell me to go buy the Blu-ray,
And he'd be right.
which I've considered. Well, but I just know they're going to put a whole series pack, and I'll probably
Yeah.
just buy that.
Right.
Anyway, also a great year for TV. I mean,
Yeah.
with things I didn't watch, Succession,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff that I still need to get to. But this was a year movie. I mean, look, to throw some of my stats out there for movies.
Here we go, boys.
I watched
Strap in.
individually. I watched 705 different movies, short films, comedy specials. If you could log it on Letterboxd, that's how I'm counting.
Yeah.
In terms of how many times I sat down to watch a movie, it was more in the 730 range. Big depression year for me, baby. That's a lot of things. I watched a lot of things.
At the beginning of this year, I told myself, I'm going to watch 365 movies for the 365 days in a year. I don't know if you know this. Have you heard about this? 365 years, or 350. See, I already screwed it up. 365 days in a year. I don't know if you knew about this, but that's how it works. So I wanted to watch 365 movies, whether I'd seen them or not. Just 365 movies. I did not get to that mark. I only got like in the 200s, and I don't actually know.
I think that was like a bigger year for you, though, right? Like more than you had the past year or two.
I think so. Yeah, because like I'm the opposite of Spencer. Of when I'm depressed, I kind of don't want to watch movies. Like I want to watch garbage YouTube and like turn my brain off and not like I'm weird in that way. And so like COVID year and all that kind of stuff. It was like not a great. That being said, I did watch some really great stuff. Anyways.
And I'll also throw out my other fun stat is 72% of all of the things I logged on Letterboxd I had not seen before.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was like super primarily new watches for me this year.
Nice.
Very proud of that because that's
You should
always,
be.
Film is like an explorative thing for me where it's like I always want to be experiencing a new story, a new thing. And that was a big, Letterboxd gives you these cool stats if you pay for it, right? I pay for the free thing. Who cares?
Sponsor us, Letterboxd. Sponsor us.
I'm begging you.
We're doing work for you. Without us, where'd you be? I don't know. I don't think.
Well, where would Letterboxd be
where
without
would
us?
Letterboxd be without me and this guy right here? We're your two biggest fans.
That might actually be true. I'm on Letterboxd multiple times every day.
Yeah,
It's
that's
my
accurate.
favorite social media app.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the awards.
You just want to kick into it?
Yeah, so I think what I was going to start with, we had the two kind of non-movie related ones really are, I'm super into comic books and you are super into music.
Yep.
So just talking about a couple of my favorite comics, I brought visual examples for the audio or the visual listeners.
We love a visual stimuli.
So this year was the first year I really dove into floppies, which are like the monthly books. They're what you think of when you think of a comic book. That's a floppy.
Yeah.
First year I really dove into those as like a comic fan. Normally I wait till full series are out, but this year I was like, no, I want to trying some series out, things that none of my friends have read, things that are new. and kind of see where the medium is at. So I dove into Image Comics. Image also sponsor us. I will shill for you so hard. You're the best publishing company out there. But one thing I read early this year was this book called Rain. And it's like a 5-part miniseries written by, it's based on the short story by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son. But this is not what you would think of from a horror writer.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful and really, really touching and so good. Like, I cried the first issue. I thought it was so good. Read that. Another one is, this is one I want you to read super bad. It is called Bolero.
Yeah.
It is the wildest comic I read all year. It is so good. It's like cosmic and multiversal, which also weirdly, this was a big year for multiverse stories.
Dude, the year of the multiverse.
So weird and strange. Strange. Doctor Strange. Ah! Anyway, Bolero's great. Also a 5-part miniseries. Really accessible. There's a collected version of both Rain and Bolero out now. You can get them for really not that much money.
Yeah.
Read those. And we also saw the triumphant return of Saga. And I say this because I bought the compendium, which is the collection of like 44 issues of Saga. And that has been all of Saga that's been out for like 4.5 years.
Right.
They went on a massive hiatus and came back for 6 issues this year. So I caught up perfectly in time to wait 4 months, just like Better Call Saul. So I can say Saga The Return is great. Hasn't missed a beat for me. I cried on the issue 6 of The Return. Brilliant stuff. Another one that I'm reading kind of now that's almost over, another 5-part miniseries. I love little short miniseries runs. They're so accessible, so cool. Is called 10,000 Black Feathers. It is a little...
The cover's amazing.
All of the covers for these ones are great.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of a shared horror universe.
Ooh. You've told me about
called
this.
the Bone Orchard Mythos. Yeah. Now, you hear that, you think superhero, you think whatever, you think DC, Marvel. No. It's just a shared universe of similar tone and similar artwork.
Right.
But it's not building to some Avengers level thing. It's just what it is. And so this is the like second piece of it. I have the first, I haven't read it yet, but I've been reading this as it's been coming out, and it is excellent. This is one I've been loving. But there's one comic I read that like took the cake for me, where it started in 2021, but it ended in 2022, so I can count it. Loopholes. And that is the Tom King book, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is like the coolest comic I've read in a couple of years. It is so good. It's like the story of Supergirl out in space. Also miniseries, only like 8 issues. So it's pretty short. But it's told from the perspective of this little kid she's helping get revenge for her father. And if you know anything about super people, they don't love killing. And so you're like wondering what the moral dilemma is the whole time. The artwork is brilliant. There are multiple moments I had to like put the book down and be like, I love comic books so much. This was my favorite comic I read in all of 2022. It is brilliant. Read it. You can get this for like $20. It is so good. Get into comics because frankly, they need your business.
They need your money, please.
Anyway,
physical media is cool. Do it.
It really is. I mean, if you talk about physical media, few things are doing it like comics, where it's just so designed to be looked at and held.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Reading a digital comic's not the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just a quick little rant on comics because I like comics.
Yeah.
You were going to do?
I'm going to do some music. So Spencer inspired me to get a physical prop. And so for my winner for Piece of Music of the Year, I had to grab a physical prop. But before that, I want to talk about some things that I listened to this year that played basically nonstop that I loved very much. Now I'm out of breath for no reason.
The Barney soundtrack, right? That was what you want?
The Barney soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love you. All right. We're going to get...
demonetized?
Yeah, we're going to get
for
demonetized.
The monetization we don't have.
There you go. So first off, Fever Dream, the album Fever Dream by Cannons. It's like super spacey, dream pop, ethereal, electronic, like good shit. Absolutely good shit. I found it kind of near the beginning of the year, and I listened to that album like nonstop for like a month or two. Good album. Next one. This has been a recommendation before on the podcast. It is Hellfire by Black Midi. That album is so incredibly cool. The like post-punk world is doing so many interesting, cool things in this in music. Like there are very few genres that are like pushing boundaries like post-punk is, and Hellfire by Black Midi is like my favorite one to date. It blends so many genres and so many different ideas into one like insane package. I highly recommend it. Great album. And then my last kind of like honorable mention is Human Overboard by James and the Shame. So this is Rhett of Rhett and Link fame. His album, his debut album, kind of talking about him like losing faith in the church and his kind of like struggle with that. And it is just absolutely beautiful. It's got this kind of like it's like straight up old school country in a way that I like absolutely adore. So much of country now has been just absolutely ruined. Like it's just
insert Bo Burnham song here.
Right. Like I mean it's just like pop now. And I love bands and artists that like really throw it back to country's roots. And I think this album, more than a lot recently, really kind of shows that like you can do a lot even with the kind of like the basic framework that is country. It's like 3 chords and the truth. That, and I think this is
3 chords and the truth. That would be a great band name. Is that a band?
That
has to be.
I mean, that's
right?
a very famous saying for like
that
country
has
or blues.
to be a band.
Yeah, like, and that is a very accurate description, I think, of this album. It is so pretty. But my number one, which if you know me, this will be no surprise to anybody. I am maybe the world's biggest Andy Schaaf fan.
According to Spotify, you might be the second biggest Andy Schaaf
literally,
fan.
I am. I'm in the top 0.01% of Andy Schaaf listeners. I use a thing called stats.fm or Spotastats. I can't remember what it's called now. And literally, I am the number 2 listener on that app for of Spotify listeners. The number 1 had like an ungodly amount of time listened to it. I legitimately think they play it at work. I think that's them using their Spotify to play it at work. I legitimately think that's what that is. But Andy Schaaf released a single of all things, but he released it on Bandcamp first, and he did a limited run of vinyl singles signed. So this is my one of 200 signed singles for the singles are Satan and Jacob Rose. And the thing that I love the most about Andy Schaaf is he's a storyteller. I mean, like so much about what we love is telling stories. And the thing that draws me into him is the way that he tells stories in music. I mean, he isn't just talking about a single feeling. He's literally telling the beginning, middle, and end of a story in each song. And with these albums, his most recent albums have been concept albums, kind of telling the story of a single night or something like that. And this one is no different. Jacob Rose specifically. It's just a beautiful song, and I absolutely love this single. And this thing I cherish. My final breath.
If you've seen Glass Onion, he usually keeps it in a case similar to the Mona Lisa, where it did,
super annoying.
Frankly, I just want to touch it now that it's out of the case, but I know he'll bite me.
I stab him is what I will do. Anyways, so Andy Schaaf, go listen to him. If you haven't heard of Andy Schaaf.
Of what I've listened to of Andy Schaaf, I really like. I think it's good. I haven't deep dived at all.
I absolutely love Andy Schaaf.
I've not been in the mood for that type of music, but every time I'm with you and you play it, I'm always like, this is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know
Bear, Bad News, The Party, Neon Skyline, Wilds, all of them great. His other band, Fox Warren. Got it. Fox Warren, also phenomenal. I want them to put out another record. That's a good one. Anyways, so Andy Schaaf, good shit. All right.
So the next Whatie is also a little bit of a weird one. It has nothing to do with 2022, other than it's the first time we watched whatever our pick is in 2022.
Yep.
So if you've never seen Gremlins 2 and you watched it in 2022, it is eligible for this Whatie.
Yeah.
This is our first time watched in 2022 Whatie. I'm going to let you go first because I made a list on my phone I just want to sprint through.
I will do the same real quick. My honorable mentions this year are Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, Coco, Vertigo, Fast Five, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Those are some of my favorite movies that I saw this year. Some of them you may recognize from the podcast.
Two of the Rex made it.
Yeah. I would. So should I just go ahead and do the winner? Do you want to do your? Go
ahead and do the winner.
And so my winner for best movie we watched for the first time in 2022 is Rear Window.
Oh,
I had not seen
great movie,
the Alfred Hitchcock classic Rear Window until this year. I saw it at Alamo. Thank you, Alamo. Sponsor us, Alamo.
I know we sometimes talk crap about experiences there, but we love you.
We love you. We love you, though. You're imperfect, but I would want nothing less. Actually, I would love you to be perfect, but whatever. Rear Window, you can't beat their programming. And Rear Window, like they did a whole run of, and that was when I also said I saw Vertigo. That was also when I went and saw Vertigo this year, was at Alamo. But man, Rear Window, there's a reason it's Rear Window. There's a reason Hitchcock is Hitchcock. That movie is absolutely phenomenal. Loved every second of it. Very, very, very good movie.
The Whatie.
Okay.
I watched a lot of stuff this year. Don't judge some of my first watches. I had to get around to it. There's a lot of movies. But to just rattle them off. I saw Pig for the first time this year and really stuck out to me. Personal Shopper. Hobo with a Shotgun. Trust me. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Carrie.
I showed him that.
Punch Drunk Love, a similar one for both of us.
Hey.
You did show me 10 Cloverfield Lane. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, I was so upset when he watched that because I wanted to make an episode.
I didn't realize.
No, it's fine. But I love that movie.
Coraline, True Romance, Pleasure, Wreck, which is REC, like record. Check that one out too. It's crazy. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Ghost in the Shell. Now, these are the ones that were like massive standouts for me. The before trilogy.
Dude, like the Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell is so
that is
good.
not
Absolutely
the anime film from the 90s.
Scarlett, you are a transformer. Like you can really just embody anything.
I just leap into your frame and kill you. Okay, so here's the ones that really, really stuck out. The before trilogy, Akira.
Akira. I should have put that on mine too.
Dracula. You may have had one there from the podcast. Sisters, that old Brian De Palma movie that no one talks about. Fear and Shame. That is a Robert Pattinson short film that is brilliant about him wanting a hot dog.
Oh, I also saw that for the first time this year.
I love that thing. The Mitchells versus the Machines, which if you haven't seen that, brilliant. It Follows, Coda, Cowboy Bebop. Now here are the ones that were really hard for me to pick what my Whatie would go to. The Worst Person in the World, and The Raid. These two were a battle.
Yeah.
Because if you know me, you know I love action. And if you know me, I love weird, sad movies about being lost in your 20s, which is, yeah. But there were two that defeated those. And those two movies you and I watched together. Paddington and Paddington 2, baby! Yes!
Those movies are the best. They are the best. I love them very much.
So we can officially say that Paddington and Paddington 2, yes, I cheated, get a Whatie. We're mailing it to you, Paddington. We don't know what it is or what it looks like. We have no budget, but we'll send it at some point, buddy.
I don't know how the mail works in England. So.
Or how it works to CGI bears, but we'll find your address. It's fine. Paddington 3's coming out.
Hell yeah.
It's great. No, but
we'll just send it to Ben Wishaw.
Yeah.
We'll just send it to him.
No, but genuinely, one of my favorite experiences watching a movie this year was when you and I watched Paddington 2, and at the end, I started crying, and I looked away, and then I looked over at you, and you were also crying.
Dude, I've seen that movie like 5 times, and every time it gets... I'm literally getting misty thinking about it.
The ending of Paddington 2 will make you a better man.
Oh, dude. Oh.
So that is what my Whatie is going to, because Paddington and Paddington 2 are wonderful films that everyone needs to see and then watch a bunch more.
Yep.
Brilliant cinema.
All right. On to the real awards. And the award, the Whatie, for most lightning CGI in a single movie ever goes to Black Adam.
The hierarchy of power in the lightning CGI movies is about to change,
Hell
baby.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude, that movie is literally nothing but like kind of bad, but not awful lightning and fire CGI. That is all that movie is.
Black Adam is fun.
Fun
it's
movie.
fine. It's bad, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Not moving forward at DC.
No, sorry, Rip Rock.
Genuinely, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you leaked false information,
So
trying to make your movie seem profitable. And that feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is what this should be a reoccurring one.
So the
every year.
Whatie for most lightning CGI in a single movie goes to Black Adam.
Black Adam.
All right, next we've got duo. We've got our favorite duo in the movie this year. Spencer, would you like to kick it off?
Okay, so you want to know what's going to be blasphemous?
What?
Is that I'm not picking the Batman.
What?
Now, here's the thing. This was a great year for duos, by the way. I mean, Nope had a great duo. Top Gun Maverick had a good one.
Yeah.
The Batman had one that fits into a different category for me. We'll get there. But there was one movie that just took the idea, the very premise of a duo, and took it so much farther than any movie I have ever seen, and that is RRR. You haven't seen it?
Okay, yeah, we need to make it. We need to bring this up. There's a few movies we haven't seen. We haven't seen Tar. I haven't seen RRR. There's going to be some movies that I haven't seen, and some movies that we haven't seen. You've seen everything that I've seen.
RRR.
Yeah.
The two leads of that movie. RRR, let me first start here. It's a 3-hour Tollywood movie, I believe.
Yeah.
That is a romance, bromance, action, comedy, musical, period drama. It is everything, but also so specifically one thing. It's the best movie, I think. Like, everyone who talks about it's like it's the best movie. And then I was like, there's no way. So I watched it. It's the best movie. I love that movie dearly, and that duo is like incredible, and I want to watch them go on a million adventures. They get 2 Whaties for this category, one for both of them.
Hell yeah! All right, I've got some honorable mentions. I've got the Haywoods, so the 2 leads in Nope. I've got Waymond and Evelyn Wang from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Great! I can't believe I didn't mention that one.
I've got Maverick and his plane. Best duo in cinematic history, if you ask me. And then also James Cameron in 3D. Wonderful duo that we haven't seen in like 10 years. So it's wonderful to see them working together again. But mine, I can't believe that I'm giving this to it and you're not. But the Bat and the Cat, like,
look. Here's the thing.
If that doesn't show you how good RRR is, I don't know what will.
If you haven't keyed in yet, I'm the world's biggest Batman fan.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of comics and they all share a shelf, and then I have one section that's just Batman because I have too many of them.
Yeah.
Go rant about it. Go, because I could rant about
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, what's there to say?
I
Like,
know.
it's so good. Like, seriously, Pattinson and Kravitz, so good. The on-screen chemistry is phenomenal. Like, unlike any 2 Batman characters we've ever seen on screen, maybe, like, other than like maybe
Cut to me on this before I even hear what you say.
like not Michael Caine and like
That's a
not
good
in
one.
not in like not in a weird way or anything like that. Like, they just got great chemistry together.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I could maybe throw at. Like,
Look, any other year, the Bat and the Cat would be it for me. You know what I mean?
yeah, but just
any other, but RRR swung in, and plus I had to make an active effort not to just give the Batman every award. Know that now.
I can't wait to see how many other, as we get later in these awards, we'll get slightly more serious as we go on.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for the Batman to pop up time and time again. On to practical effects. We have a category for visual effects, and we also have practical effects. This is something that we really, be the change you want to see in the world. So this is us highlighting the practical effects that we love this year. So do you want me to kick it off?
I'll just go ahead and go. I didn't make a list of honorable mentions for this one because
I didn't either.
there was one that stood so far beyond
I have a feeling
everything for me.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick's practical flying,
Dude,
is some of the craziest stunts I've ever seen put to cinema. The way they shot them, how it all plays out. People, take the Tom Cruise approach and nothing else except how you make a movie.
Right.
It's brilliant. Joseph Kosinski directed the hell out of that movie.
Yeah.
And the actors really being in the planes, not just on like a rig that shakes. You feel it in every
feels
frame.
so real. Watching this movie,
It feels real because it is real.
I know,
Like,
but
it's
what I mean is
nuts.
you feel like you're in the cockpit. Watching this in IMAX on the big screen is unlike any other.
I saw it 4 times in theaters.
Yeah,
I kept going back.
so
I liked
good.
it so much.
The only other movie he saw 4 times in theaters this year was Batman.
was the Batman. Well, then see, I saw the Batman 4 times in IMAX.
Oh, all right, there you go.
I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I found the perfect seat in the theater. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick is far and away, in terms of practical effects, there's nothing that touched it this year. I'm sure there's great individual effects, but just in terms of a movie that utilizes practical effects, Top Gun Maverick sprinted past them all. Flew past them all at supersonic speeds.
Yeah. The only other one that I could think about to give any kind of honorable mention to would be like maybe Everything Everywhere All at Once for all its practical fight scenes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the fight scenes are like ever so slightly different. Obviously, they're effects, but like... You know what I mean? The Batman's effects are just, or the Batman's effects are also very good. The fact that car jumping through, anyway, I could talk for hours. Top Gun Maverick is it. It's the one.
Yeah.
It's the correct answer,
It is
right?
the one. It is him.
It is Neo.
It is he. Himothy. Visual effects. Do you want to say it at the same time? 3, 2, 1. Avatar, The Way of Water. Yeah. It's Avatar. Do we even need to?
Go see it, and you'll know what we mean.
Go see it IMAX 3D. Stay away from the high frame rate version. Apparently I have seen
it sucks.
only bad things about that.
Yep.
But other than that, okay. Another weird category. Another one that I wanted this one because this is another thing that I harp on a lot, but at least in conversation with Spencer. I see be the change you want to see in the world. We have a category for best poster. So this year, Spencer, what was your favorite poster?
We had a couple of contenders. Barbarian had some banging posters.
Dude, it had some great posters.
Pearl had some banging posters.
Had some great posters.
But there's one specifically. The Batman. it's there's the 2 really famous ones that they used in most everything.
Yeah.
The 2 of the 3 that they use in everything, but 2 of them are good. There's one where it's the close up of his face as he's kind of angled out, and you see the question mark in his eye really subtly. Love that poster. But there's the bathed in red light, him silhouetted in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, it did something for me, guys. It did something for me.
Yeah.
Best poster of the year. That is my Whatie for best poster of the year.
That is his exact kink.
He's not wrong.
So for me, I have some honorable mentions. Barbarian, Pearl, both won. I have a TV. I've got a TV show in here.
Oh, you're slipping.
And
in
it's
a TV
one I haven't seen, but the poster's so good. I loved it. The Baby from HBO.
Oh, that's a great poster.
Love the kind of like Saul Bass like influence. Phenomenal. I actually really, really love that poster. And then I think Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love the poster for that movie. I don't love all the other posters that look exactly like it, but this is like one of the only movies that like actually makes sense to have that kind of like
a kaleidoscope effect,
fractal kaleidoscope thing. I thought it was wonderful. I also look, this movie's controversial as shit, but I really did like the poster for Blonde.
Yeah.
Because it's like it is Ana de Armas that looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe as the poster with that iconic face. So it's like, I really do like that poster. And my winner, and you will literally never guess what my winner is. It's the movie Vengeance with BJ Novak.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
That poster is so cool. That poster is gorgeous and really cool. And like feels like I haven't seen.
I've also heard the movie's good too.
I've also heard the movie's good, and I've heard that the poster. I saw that the poster was like accurate to what the movie is. Like I love that poster. I really, really love that poster. So my pick for best poster, the Whatie for best poster, is Vengeance.
That is fascinating. I need to see that movie. It seems interesting and cool. Kind of a good year for posters.
A really good year for posters.
Especially alt posters that didn't end up making I get you got to market a movie, but sometimes like Barbarian had some epic posters they didn't use, even though the one they did use is also really good.
The one that they did use was really good, but my favorites were the alt posters for Barbarian for sure.
Okay. The next category in the Whaties is best action scene. Singular scene.
Okay.
So not necessarily best action movie.
Okay, I split my top choice.
Send it.
I'll kick it off. So for my honorable mentions, I've got the Iceberg Lounge fight from the Batman. Love that one. I thought that one was super cool. As well as the Penguin chase.
Okay, yeah, the
the car chase.
Highway to the Anger Zone.
Good one. The village assault in The Northman.
Oh, that one shot.
Freaking good, dude. That movie, I really, really, really liked that movie. I don't know, man.
Also a great poster.
Also, which poster?
The one of him where it's like him small standing on the mountaintop.
Okay, that one's a good poster.
Not the main poster.
The main poster's not good.
But this one was in theaters. That's the part that frustrates me. Is they put it in theaters, then switched it to the other crappy. Whatever. Who cares?
And then it would be the like final scene from Top Gun. Those are my honorable mentions. My winners, I've got two. The fanny pack fight in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Brilliant.
Phenomenal. And the butt plug fight from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love that movie so much.
Just saying butt plug fight.
I mean, just what else is there to say?
Yeah.
The butt plug. It's so inventive on how like the reversals, just like the mode of the way in which they're fighting by trying to shove stuff up their butts. Like it is really, really, really great stuff. Those are my picks for best action scenes.
So, I agree with all the ones he said, right? Like the butt plug fight, the fanny pack fight. The fanny pack fight is one of the most fun moments I've had in a theater all year. Yeah. You know what I mean? When he starts doing it, you're like, what's happening? And I love it.
Don't listen to my opinion. Listen to Spencer's. He's much more of an action guy than I am.
Oh, I was like, fuck you. What do you mean? I'm
specifically
confused.
Like action choreography, he is much more knowledgeable than I ever will be. So listen to his opinion, not mine.
This is a new feeling. No, look, mine is going to surprise people because I think two from Top Gun, the proving you can run the mission sequence from Top Gun, which is technically an action sequence because he could have fucking died doing it.
Yep.
The final battle in Top Gun.
Yeah.
Pretty much every action sequence in the Batman kind of rules, like specifically the shot where they're using real blanks to light him walking through the darkness. Damn, I forgot about that one.
That was a good one.
Brilliant. Any other year, the Penguin chase would have won.
Yeah.
Because it's a humdinger of a car chase sequence. Not since Baby Driver have we gotten a car chase that cool.
Really?
But another movie came out this year called RRR. When I say that there are things I never thought I would see depicted on film, I mean it.
Yeah.
And this movie did it. Mm-hmm. There is a fight in this movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but essentially two men become one. That's all I'll say to you. But the one that wins, and I'm sure you've seen this shot of the guy jumping out of the car with the torches and all the animals flying. That sequence is something.
That's on the poster, right?
Yeah. That sequence is one of the most brilliant action sequences I've ever seen because it is so heightened. Like people are using animals as weapons. I should be clear. Yeah. He's like deflecting animals into people he's trying to kill. It's one dude and an army of animals versus an army of other people. But it is so story driven and symbolic and character driven. It comes at the perfect moment in that movie when our characters have to clash and all of this stuff. Everything that builds up. And it's a great fight, and it's shot so well. Man, in terms of fight choreography, like Everything Everywhere All at Once might have better choreographed fights from an intricate like kung fu martial arts level.
Right.
But RRRs were so story driven in a way that like not even Everything Everywhere All at Once did to the degree that RRR did.
Yeah.
RRR, and that's just one action sequence in RRR, I should add. There's like 7 others that could also win.
Yeah.
Watch that movie. It's on Netflix. Go.
Watch it.
Like, it is so good.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
You to show it to me.
That's true. Hey, guy, come on. Anyway, that is my Whatie, is the animal battle from RRR takes the Whatie for best action scene.
I love it. Next, we have most emotional scene/moment. I'll go ahead and kick it off, and then I'll let you do it. This is one that Spencer suggested, and I love it. So my runner-up. So I have two winners because I couldn't decide.
Cheater.
I'm cheater.
I'm kidding.
Cheater,
I'm
cheater,
kidding.
pumpkin eater.
I'm
They're
gonna
from
do-
different.
I'm gonna do this.
They're from different movies too. So it's like the my runner-up for most emotional scene is from Banshees of Inisherin. I don't even want to like if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it because it happens in the movie. It's a very sad moment, and I don't want to say what it is because if you haven't seen it, go watch it and it's worth watching.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a very sad moment. I feel like just what I'm saying. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one's my runner-up. My two winners, my two whaties for most emotional scene / moment are T'Challa's funeral. Yeah, T'Challa's funeral from Black Panther is just like hard to watch. Like it
is hard to watch in a beautiful way because it's a tribute as much as it is mourning. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
100%. It is like joyous.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. Is like our kind of like lead characters in this movie are clearly so broken, but the people around him are so joyous for like knowing that he's on to the ancestral plane.
The life he lived and
exactly.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
That moment just absolutely wrecked me. When Chadwick Boseman passed away, I am not one I'm not one who has like parasocial relationships with celebrities. They're people that I don't know that make things that I like. But man, when Chadwick Boseman passed away, that one hit different. Like I actually like cried, and I don't do that when celebrities die. And when Chadwick Boseman passed, like
Chadwick
Boseman. Sorry, I'm just getting emotional just literally thinking about it. Like when we found out about it, me and my wife, we literally just like stood in the kitchen and like literally just like hugged each other and like teared up. It was like
I remember exactly where I was. I remember the movie I was watching, the seat I was sitting in when I saw.
Yeah.
It's weird. You know, I kind of agree. I do a little more parasocial. Like I enjoy people's personalities and why they tell kind of thing. But that one was different. Like that one just...
It's just, he means so much to so many people. And like literally inspiring an entire generation of kids in a way that like...
very few actors have ever even come close to.
Literally. He is a legend and he has played so many legends. It's just... And that scene in Black Panther Wakanda Forever is phenomenal. Like literally the first trailer, I like almost want to give it to that because that trailer for the first trailer for Wakanda Forever is just like so touching and gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And then my other one would be the mother and daughter scene from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oof. Yeah, that one. Ooh, because it's like, it's long. It's long too. Like, and it holds you the entire time. Mm-hmm. It like seriously gripped me the entire time. And I'm just like in the theater and I'm just like pouring tears the entire time. That movie, that scene, absolutely wrecked me. Yeah. What about you, Spencer?
There's a lot. I mean, I agree with all the ones you said. My winner was that scene from the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
I was like, because that movie is very sad and very somber, but it's also very funny.
Yeah.
And when that scene came up, I have also struggled recently. Like my dog is getting older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there were two scenes this year that were like emotional terrorism to me.
Yeah.
And it was that one and then a scene from Pinocchio.
Oh.
They were like emotional terrorism.
That
we're
came
like
very close to being on my list.
Literally, Pinocchio, the scene we're talking about, which again I will not spoil. It jumped past tears to just me having an existential crisis in the theater where I like panicked a little bit.
Yeah.
But that scene in the Banshees of Inisherin, I also watched the Banshees of Inisherin alone in a theater, and that scene came up, and I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I was like devastated.
Yeah.
And then the capper on it, what he does after this scene, and you know, in that bar,
it's that
where he goes and he's like, "We're taking that thing," that moment.
Yeah,
I understood. I hadn't empathized with the character in that way in a while,
and
that was one that just rocked me to my core.
Yeah,
watch that movie. It's on HBO Max. It's brilliant. Like I said, it's super funny. It's way less pretentious than you would think it would be.
Yeah.
Very accessible while also being very, very good.
Yeah.
Check that one out.
Yeah. It's a good one.
You'll laugh and you'll cry. Like that's just, it's one of those movies. So if you need a good cathartic, emotional ride, take that journey.
So that's most emotional scene or moment. On to thirstiest moment in
I'll go ahead and field this one.
Yeah.
I cheated.
Yeah.
It's every scene of the Bat and the Cat from the Batman. The scene on the rooftop.
Literally on my notes, I put everything with the Bat and the Cat. That is all I have. Literally just everything.
In my notes, I wrote them on that damned roof. Because I'm going to tell you what, like I said, biggest Batman fan in the world. I have waited for like an actual depiction of their relationship because The Dark Knight Rises ain't it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
The Dark Knight Rises ain't it in many ways.
In many ways. But them on that roof where they kiss and it's silhouetted and I'm just like, okay, can we move on before this gets bad?
Yeah.
Brilliant. The moment when she realizes she can't just let him die and has to go save him.
Yeah.
And then she kisses him and he doesn't even have the strength to kiss back, but he tries.
Yeah.
It is so touching. But god damn it, if them riding motorcycles at the end doesn't do it for you, I don't know what will.
Yeah, no, literally that they are two, just from like an aesthetic point of view, those two people are some of the most beautiful people on the planet.
And Robert Pattinson's in a cowl. He's dressed like a bat.
Like that, it's so good, dude.
No, but genuinely, when they're riding those motorcycles, it's a dance.
Yeah.
They're flirting with each other.
Yeah.
You know, he's genuine. All the other moments when he's putting the contact lens in her eye and they gaze into each other. You're like, ooh, Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, Lord, I love it.
Great. So good. So good.
And to be clear, I'm objectifying both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Specifically, Robert Pattinson in a batsuit does it for me.
Yeah. I mean, like, unlegitimately, like, separated from the objectification.
Oh, no, completely.
Just separated from just those two, their chemistry on screen.
Matt Reeves described their characters as being the same, except one of them had a safety net. Like, she is a survivor. She has the exact same deep-rooted sense of justice that he has.
Yeah.
But she had to do some stuff he never had to do. Right. She had to cross lines. He had the luxury of not crossing.
That's such a great way of describing this.
Matt Reeves is a genius.
We love him. Shout out to Matt Reeves.
Shout out. Come on the pod.
Dude,
I would love that.
Cold shot. Matt Reeves, we love you. If you would come onto this podcast, we'd love it. And we would never forget it. Sorry, I forgive.
We would never forgive ourselves for not trying.
There you go. Thank you for turning that around for me.
No, but the emotional longing of these two characters is what makes them work in the comic, where it's like, they shouldn't. Batman is this like crazed lunatic for justice and she steals things. And like can't not do it. She's as compulsive as he is in a completely different way, and they shouldn't mesh. But like when they get the chance to, and she's the only answer for me of like who should Batman's partner in life be in any sort. It's always Catwoman. Yeah. There are other ones that are okay. There are other ones that have worked, but that relationship is perfect and it works just absolutely brilliantly. As like hot as it is, it's also emotionally resonant.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why it wins the Whatie for thirstiest moment of the year over a 3-hour picture. I love it, dude. Yeah. The Bat and the Cat. Slay. So our next category at the Whaties is biggest surprise of the year.
Yeah. I don't know what your thought process for this. We didn't super talk about this. What was your thought for surprise? Scene or movie?
Does not matter.
Okay, cool.
Mine is a movie.
Mine is a movie too.
Okay, well then, we figured it out.
Yeah.
Go us. My biggest surprise of the year was DC Super Pets being an actually genuinely funny and emotional movie.
Yeah.
I bought it on Blu-ray. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
It is excellent.
Yeah.
And I did not see that coming. That was not on my bingo card. That was not on my backup bingo card unless I lost the first one. But damn it, I enjoyed it enough to own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That takes the Whatie for me for biggest surprise of the year.
Yeah. Mine is Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Like, so before, like, look, all the trailers made it seem like a great movie. And Tom Cruise has been on a hot streak recently. But I was still very skeptical. I especially before me and Megan went and saw Top Gun Maverick, I watched the original Top Gun and I was like, I understand why it's Top Gun, but I don't think it's like great. But Top Gun Maverick is phenomenal. Like, I never expected it to not only be a great movie, but also if it won Best Picture, I would not be mad. Like, do I think it should? I don't know. But like, if it won, it's going to get nominated.
Here's the thing. Top Gun Maverick has done so much for movies this year on top of also being great, right? Like, it's in many ways kind of saved the theatrical experience for a time.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick rules.
Yeah, dude. Like,
again, I saw it 4 times in theaters.
Yeah.
I kept going back.
Hopefully Hollywood takes the correct, like, understands what actually made this movie as popular as it was, and takes that and moves forward with that same idea of like good practical action, well-written movie with like strong characters and like just like an actually good, well-made movie, instead of going like, oh, they like legacy sequels. Like, we've shown that legacy sequels don't always work. So hopefully they take the understanding of like, no, you can make a good blockbuster.
Let me put it this way. The way this movie got greenlit, Joseph Kosinski had an idea, and he's worked with Tom Cruise before.
Yeah.
On Oblivion.
Oh,
and maybe something else too. Anyway, I don't know. He flew to London because Tom Cruise was filming, I believe, one of the new Mission Impossible, or one of the Mission Impossibles or something. And he pitched him this idea. But before that, Tom Cruise called him the night before the meeting and said, hey, look, whatever happens tomorrow, it's just going to be good to see you. You're my friend. I'm excited to see you. Whatever happens, we have that. Joseph Kosinski taking that as it was intended, essentially meaning Tom Cruise wasn't interested. But he was going to take the meeting because he respected this person.
Yeah.
Midway into the meeting, he kind of pitches him the emotional crux of the movie, which is a relationship between Maverick and Rooster, Goose's son. And he sees Tom Cruise kind of lean forward and think. And through the power of a good story, he convinced Tom Cruise, who had refused since the first one to do a sequel, to come back and do it. And Tom Cruise called the studio in the meeting and said, we're doing Top Gun 2. But that is the lesson. If you can pitch a good enough story, you can win over Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And he can get a movie made for you.
Yeah. It's all he has to do is make a call and you get a movie, baby.
So that to me genuinely is the one. Like that's why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think you're right. Take the right lessons. But Super Pets and Top Gun Maverick, watch both of them. Back to back, maybe? I don't know.
Weird double feature, but do it.
Do it.
All right, movie-going moment. This is the Whatie for our favorite movie-going moment. Do you want to kick it off or do you want me to?
I want to kick it off because we're talking about Top Gun Maverick already? Mine came before the movie technically started. It did, you see. I'm in the IMAX screening opening night, right? And I'm looking around and I'm going, there are a lot of dads here dressed as fighter pilots. Okay. This was Avengers Endgame for unappreciated fathers.
That's so accurate.
But the lights dim and the trailers start and all the dads start cheering. Just clapping fathers everywhere. And I literally went, this is going to be amazing. That was legitimately my favorite going. The Batman was a religious experience for me.
Yeah.
This was my favorite of like, oh, movies are cool.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even have anything to do with the movie. It was just the joy of fathers everywhere.
Yeah.
Just, I could feel it reverberating through the cinema.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. That warmed my heart in a very real, genuine way.
My Whatie for movie-going moment is very similar and also the complete opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was going to see the movie Twilight. I saw Twilight in the theater this year, and it was, look, we are Twilight stans on this podcast. I will hear no ill word about Twilight. That being said, Twilight is a dumb and bad movie, and it is so
Cut to me
good.
on this. Cut to me on this.
It is so good and so fun. And that was the fun thing about this. The screening was everybody in the theater was a Twilight fangirl. And so like every time there was like, where the hell you been, Loca? Like every time there was one of those like famous quotes or like anything at all.
Him kicking the apple into his hands.
Yes, everybody cheered and laughed and like said the line a lot. Like it was such a fun screening.
Man, I wish I was there.
Oh,
That would have been awesome.
So good. So that was mine. I have a couple of
Honorable
mentions. Thank you. I'm an idiot. A couple of honorable mentions. Seeing the original Avatar in IMAX 3D
that was super
for the
fun.
first time. Like just you and me and a few other people in that theater, like genuinely, like me actually getting to enjoy this movie as it was meant to be enjoyed. Mine was, I also put Top Gun. Wonderful, wonderful way to watch that movie. The only way, if you ask me. John Carpenter's The Thing. That one's a phenomenal movie to watch in the theater. Me and Megan had a funny experience because we ordered food, and that is not a movie you should order food during.
Oh, no. Few movies worse.
Luckily, our movie didn't come to the very end.
Your food.
What did I say?
You said movie.
Our food didn't come to the very end, so it was like past like the grossest stuff.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That movie is so special, and I am so thankful I got to see it in a theater. I know not a lot of people will be able to say the same thing. Maybe in the future there might be more.
But as founding members of the Spooky Boys, we made it a priority.
Yeah.
Drove to a terrible movie theater to go see it.
Yeah.
I was the only one that had it. But we don't care because we support Guillermo del Toro.
It was totally worth it. Pinocchio is a very special and good movie.
But yes.
All right.
So this is one that I have an opinion on that I'm going to let you go first. And it is the Whatie for Scene Stealer.
Yeah.
You and I talked. You got really nervous because I made a comment about how I think everyone has one, and I disagree. So go ahead. What is your Scene Stealer of the year?
Namor.
Oh, okay. Not who I thought. Not who I thought. Because
Yeah.
I actually agree. Well, my one thing is I would say Angela Bassett also steals every scene she's in.
Oh, right. But she's also she is also like
Like the co-lead of the movie.
yeah. So it's like that's the only reason I would not describe her as.
Okay, you did not pick who I thought you were, and I think Namor's a great underground pick.
I want to
there.
pronounce his name correctly. I am a stupid white person with a stupid white person tongue, so I don't want to do him the disrespect of saying his name wrong. I should have. He deserves for me to actually learn how to say his name correctly. So I'm not going to say it incorrectly here. But the actor, the phenomenal actor who played
Namor the Submariner.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. That character absolutely shreds. I am so glad they didn't kill him in this movie.
Which Marvel movies are known to do.
I cannot wait to see him again.
Yes.
Phenomenal character, phenomenal actor. Absolutely loved everything about it. My Scene Stealer for the Whaties.
I love it.
All right, Spencer. I am so excited to hear your hot take.
Okay.
Knowing that I didn't screw it up.
Okay. There's a name that gets thrown around a lot. And I agree. He is incredible in this movie. He's so incredible, he's getting a spin-off TV series about his character. And it's from The Batman. Everyone says Colin Farrell is the standout performance of that movie. Everyone does. I'm so serious about this. You go to your Letterboxd, most reviews had name drop him specifically.
That's really surprising.
Trust me. Everyone talks about. I am more in tune with the Batman discourse than literally anyone. And he is the name that gets brought up the most as being the show stealer, the best performance in the movie.
Look, he's great.
Here's the thing. He gives a really big performance.
Yeah.
And it is brilliant, by the way. Like, I love his Oz,
Yeah.
you know? He's great. But goddamn it, Robert Pattinson is genuinely giving, in my opinion, an Oscar-worthy performance in this movie. And he is doing it through a cowl.
Yeah.
Just his eyes and his lips is all he gets to act with. And he gives a performance that emotionally connects me to him so deeply, it's insane.
Yeah.
The scenes they share together outside of the world's greatest detectives, Robert Pattinson wins.
Yeah.
in terms of you want to talk about the scene, but that one's designed for him to have the fun part of the scene. Yeah. They're figuring stuff out. Robert Pattinson is the best performance in that movie. He does not have a scene stolen from him. It's blasphemous to say otherwise.
It's a super fun, super big performance,
and also very good. Like I would
not describe it as layered.
No,
like it's just a big fun performance. Like I love it. He's chewing up the scenery in a way that I'm here for. That being said, he's not the standout performer.
Now I have an honorable mention before we get to my actual answer. My honorable mention is Jake Gyllenhaal from Ambulance. He gives a truly deranged performance in that movie. It like you think you know deranged Gyllenhaal, but this is different.
Yeah.
Ambulance is fine. I think it's really cool, and it's a bummer it bombed at the box office. I bought it on 4K. It's a wild experience. We will have to watch it soon just to watch it. His performance is so much fun. Like he's having the time of his life, and every time he's on screen, he's so electric. I'm always watching him.
Yeah.
And the other performances in that movie, shockingly also good for Michael Bay movies. But he is just on this other like deeply powerful level. But my Whatie is actually going to go to Keke Palmer from Nope.
Interesting.
So here's my reasoning. I connect more with Stephen Yeun's character and with Daniel Kaluuya. Kaluuya. Thank you. Daniel Kaluuya.
Whoa. Do not. I'm a white person with a stupid white tongue. So please, if I said that incorrectly, I apologize. He, again, is another person every person deserves to have their name pronounced correctly. That being
We're
said,
bad and didn't do research.
Don't quote me on it.
Anyway,
Daniel Kaluuya is the way I've heard it.
I think I connect more with their characters. But every time she's on screen,
damn it,
she has this energy that just draws me. Like her performance feels like lived in a different way than the other two do. Because I also think I think all three of them are giving Oscar-worthy performances. Yeah. I think they're like genuinely brilliant in Nope. I think Nope is genuinely brilliant.
Yeah.
But there's something about the way she like moves and the way her character reacts to things, and it's similar to what a lot of people say about the Colin Farrell thing. But like hers, I also like her performance is clearly layered and clearly.
I was just going to say actually has the layers. It's a big performance, but actually has layers.
To not diminish anyone else in that movie because everyone is so good.
Yeah.
She just has this energy in there that I'm like all about. Yeah. I love Keke Palmer in that movie.
Yeah.
I think she's excellent. There's a reason she was the like marketing campaign for that movie.
For sure.
I think she was brilliant, and I want her and Jordan Peele to work together again soon.
I agree.
Love it. Anyway, that's where my Whatie's going. Keke Palmer. If we were actually sending awards, I'd be mailing it to you, but we're not.
This one's to you, Keke.
Keke.
All right. So we've done this from here on out. It'll be a little bit more straight over the plate when it comes to award season awards. So first up, we've got score. So this is our award for score. I literally have no honorable mentions. I have one winner. I have
the same as mine.
It's going to be the same. The Batman. Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino having a huge year with making his directorial debut with Werewolf by Night.
I almost forgot.
And Werewolf by Night is so cool. And he did the music for Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Because the man is amazing.
You are Captain, what is it?
I'm Captain Slut of the Spooky Boys.
You're Captain Slut of the Spooky Boys. And I am the number, I don't know what, I need to come up with a Michael Giacchino fan name, and I will be the king of that. I love Michael Giacchino with every bone in my body and a couple outside of my body.
Like, can I tell a little story here?
Go for
it. So the Batman, to put it this way, I am, again, the biggest Batman fan in the world. I do not feel like I've ever had my live action Batman. I'm not the biggest fan of Bale's interpretation, even though I think The Dark Knight is great. I want my Batman in live action. And I'm also very critical. When Ben Affleck was cast, I was very critical. When all the stuff came out of it, I was very critical and hesitant. I ended up liking Affleck, but he still didn't feel like my Batman because he was a serial killer. When Matt Reeves was announced, I was joyous. I was like, oh, this is great. When Robert Pattinson was cast, I was like, no freaking way, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Everything leading up to it was excited, and then the Fandom happened, and I waited all day. I watched all of Fandom, a full day's worth of stuff, to watch the interview and trailer. And it was genuinely moving to me.
Yeah.
The next Fandom trailer that came out, I cried during the trailer. I'm a baby. Flash forward to when the movie's coming out and I'm getting tickets. I am on the TV playing Michael Giacchino's The Batman, the theme of the character. And right as I hit purchase, it swells into like its orchestral moment of like victory and triumph. That score is perfect. All three of the character themes are perfect.
Yeah.
The Riddler one, the Catwoman one, and the Batman one are some of the most brilliant pieces of film score that's come out in a decade. Not to mention Highway to the Anger Zone and all of these other brilliant tracks throughout. That movie is sonically brilliant, and a huge part of that is the music.
Yeah.
I am a baby, and I cry, and I love it, and I've listened to that soundtrack so much this year.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Michael Giacchino, we love you.
Michael Giacchino, this is for you. Come on the podcast.
Come on the pod.
Please, Michael. I'm begging. I can't do it without you.
Okay, wait. Now
I need you again.
Now it's getting a little sad,
please,
buddy.
Please. No. Yeah. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, like, legitimately.
What is there to say?
Nothing to say other than let's move on.
Let's move on.
So the next one is cinematography. This is the Whatie for best cinematography.
This was a good. This is a tough one.
This was a tough one.
I have a couple of honorable mentions.
So do I.
I'll go through. Okay, so I'll take this one. Top Gun Maverick is an
same.
honorable mention because when you realize how good that movie looks, and all he had, the cinematographer who I should have looked up his name, all he had to light those scenes in the planes was the sun. And it looks brilliant. And the way they filmed the planes and
from the like how the hell do you make this look good kind of perspective looks phenomenal.
It looks phenomenal. And I just think it's like down to earth, meat and potatoes, great filmmaking.
Yeah.
I think Avatar, The Way of Water, deserves some.
Yeah.
I think some of those underwater sequences, specifically the sequence when he's like playing with the whale on their event, like way they just give you these sweeping, beautiful shots and how they convey empathy.
Digital cinematography.
Yes. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, also on my list.
Ooh, I should have put it on mine.
That's on my sort of.
That's not on mine. It is now.
The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
I think the camera work in the Fabelmans is brilliant. The way the camera will drift or zero in on something. I mean, it's Spielberg, right? The last shot is maybe the best final shot of the year.
Literally.
It's brilliant. It's so good. I love The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
As a movie, I love it. As visually to look at, I love it. It's very textured. It's got a very like ethereal kind of light to it. I'm in love with the way that movie looks. Another movie. This was the hard one for me to not pick this one. But it was Nope. Nope has some of the of the coolest camera work of any movie this year. And the fact that most of it was filmed during the day is
best day for night in cinematic history.
Ever. Yeah. Like it's to the point where you have to really, really look to notice it.
You have to know. And really, really, really look.
It's so brilliant.
I never would have guessed based off of watching it. I only found it after the fact. I was like, that was day
no
for
freaking
night?
way.
Yeah. In literally the best day for night in cinematic history.
Nope is so good and it looks so good. And not enough people talk about the camera work and the visuals of that movie and how it is so built on like what you almost catch a full glimpse of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obscuring things, but giving you just a taste. Like it's Jaws. You know what I mean? Brilliant. But the movie that wins is The Batman.
Yeah, that's my pick too. And it's gorgeous.
We watched it literally New Year's Eve night. We watched The Batman, and it is grimy and gross and like everything. And so much of this is the production design and the implementation of the volume, which Greg Fraser, who is I think one of the best. I mean, he won.
When is that used?
The volume?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, let me tell you.
I did not know the volume was used in the making of this movie.
The Batmobile chase? 90% volume.
No way.
Yep. I'll pull up the documentary and we'll watch that section of it.
Yes.
Vengeance in the Making, a great documentary on making a movie. It's on the 4K and Blu-ray. Check it out. But every scene where Gordon and Batman are on the roof or on the bat signal, all of that is the volume.
No.
You and I are just watching Vengeance in the Making tonight. It's just what we're doing. That is all volume, and hearing the technology story behind it is unbelievable. Volume was used as extensions and so much stuff. It's like, and when I say volume, it's a little different than what you're thinking the Mandalorian does.
Yeah.
It's these LED panels.
Yeah.
That he built the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Dune. The similar things he did for Dune.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Batman heavily used the volume to do things like that because then he could literally just go, all right, we don't really have to put any lights up. Golden hour, dawn, night. And you could just click a button and change it and then reorganize the thing, change. So it's not green screen, so it doesn't look fake. It looks like so fucking real. And it's
Wild.
in camera and stuff.
Wild. I did not know that.
Yep. It's
Absolutely wild.
And on top of that, the movie just like the way he plays with a gaze, the way he plays with like zeroing in on things and how he obscures stuff. It's so dark in such an intentional way.
Yeah.
The Batman is the best looking movie this year.
Yeah.
Like wins to me by leaps and bounds. Like
Yeah.
Nope is the thing that touches it, but it's the Batman.
Yeah. I've got 2 honorable mentions. I haven't seen this movie, but it deserves an honorable mention anyways. Empire of Light. Roger Deakins shot it.
And if Roger Deakins shot it, you don't even got to see it.
Just
to know.
the trailers. It's like just from the trailers, that movie looks gorgeous. I haven't heard much about that movie, but it does look absolutely gorgeous. My other one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that movie is gorgeous.
I agree.
As from a cinematography perspective, they had to shoot like 4 different movies and like they had to shoot it like it's 4 different. You know what I mean?
If we were to give a Whatie for best first AD,
yeah,
takes it.
Literally.
How did you schedule that movie?
Literally. What a wonderful idea. Legitimately. That's so funny. But like literally, it's like there are so many different looks and feels throughout the movie, and some of that definitely needs to like the 9-person visual effects team deserves a shout out, because like part of that is them, but so much of it is the cinematography. Like the movie completely shifts when it's Waymond and Evelyn in the like where she's the movie star versus them.
It looks like a freaking Wong Kar-wai movie.
Yes, like literally, like the cinematography shifts so many times, and usually that bothers me in movies, but because it's so well done and makes sense in context with the story that they're telling, absolutely gorgeous. I think that movie is more than deserving of a nomination here, of an honorable mention here at the Whaties for
if
Best
it hadn't
Cinematography.
come out in the same year as The Batman.
Yep. Yeah, legitimately. Like that would have been my winner. Nope being a very close one behind that because, like I said, like best day for night in cinematic history.
Okay, so our next category, we're gonna do some genre stuff now. Just kind of
the first one is not a genre.
The first one is not a genre; it's a medium. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
As Captain Slut of the Spooky Boys, I hereby dub animation a medium, not a genre.
It's like in the public consciousness, it's kind of a genre.
Which sucks but I think people use it to write off stories as kids' movies or as like lesser because they're animated. They're animated. It's just a different way to tell a story. It's not. There are horror movies that are animated. There are kids' movies there's superhero movies that are animated.
Yeah.
It's just a different medium to tell a story.
Yep.
And I think there's one clear winner.
There's only one choice.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
It's Pinocchio.
Now
that being said, my honorable mention I'll throw to DC Super Pets, which again somehow was really good. But Pinocchio is the winner.
But the Russian one with Pauly Shore is the best movie this year.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you not seen any of the? Oh my god!
I've seen the Disney Pinocchio.
There was at the beginning of the year. There was I was made by a Russian production company with Pauly Shore as Pinocchio. It's Tom Kenny as the voice of. Whoa, Tom Kenny's in both. I just realized Tom Kenny is the voice of SpongeBob, is the voice of Geppetto, and I think it's John Hess from Napoleon Dynamite. He's
Jared Hess.
Jared, is it? Are you positive?
Jared. I don't know. Ignore me.
I'm messing this up. The
Napoleon Dynamite.
The actor who plays Napoleon Dynamite is a talking horse. It is the most insane looking movie of all time. That one is our Whatie for best. No, of course it's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That movie's phenomenal.
Yep.
We've already talked a lot about it.
Yeah. So the next one is best horror movie. And as I said at the top, this was a banner year for horror movies.
This was a great
I mean, just to throw a couple, The Black Phone, pretty good.
Yeah.
Bodies, a romp.
Yeah.
There was a new Hellraiser movie. There was a new Halloween movie, which one are you talking about? Nope. I could go on and on. Like this was a lot of people compare it to like, I think 1984 is like the last time there was a singular year for horror that was this widespread and this great.
Yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions?
No.
Okay, I've got 3. Let me do my honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions will probably line. I'm a huge horror guy. You're a little bit less so, but like
I've seen a few this year.
Yeah.
And these are my honorable mentions. Barbarian is my honorable mention.
Oh, we got a conversation to be had then.
Nope.
Okay.
Pearl. Are my
Pearl and X. I mean, just talk about what's your winner?
X.
Over Pearl, you like
over Pearl. I love Pearl. It is a very, very, very close second.
I'll tell you what, after we went and saw it, I said, I think I like X more. You went, what? So this surprises me.
Yeah, no, I thought about it some more. I think I do like X more.
Yeah.
Especially like as a horror movie.
Yes.
I do like X more. But yeah, X is my pick for the year.
Hell yeah, dude. X and Pearl are some of the coolest movies that came out
phenomenal.
this year, period. Not even just talking genre, just movies. Mine is Barbarian.
Yeah.
Because
not incorrect. That is a correct answer.
Barbarian scared me so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I've seen so many horror movies at this point, right? Fear for me is like, whoa, that moment got me. I levitated out of my body. We had a podcast on this, I'm just going to say it. When the 9-foot tall naked woman emerged from darkness.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was there. Nobody knew she was there. That was not on my bingo card.
No. Like, I think Barbarian is scarier. If that's what we're talking about here.
Well, it's not even necessarily what we're talking about. Like, I'm talking about in terms of theater. Because let me put it this way. I went and saw Barbarian and then immediately took you to see Barbarian and then did a podcast about it.
And then I immediately took someone to go see it. Like, yeah.
Like, Barbarian plays with structure in such a fun... Like, I've heard some people be like, well, I saw a lot of it coming because I'm a horror fan. And I'm like, what other horror movie has a midpoint shift where it turns into a weird drama for about 45 minutes and then comes back to being the scariest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that being said, X is also would probably be one of my other ones. Now, Nope would take it, but there's another category that Nope fits into, so I can slide it that way.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. I think I know. Really? Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think, dude, I watched X on Vudu on my laptop in Indiana, and that movie still is like my favorite horror movie of the year. I loved it. And then Pearl, I saw it in the theater and was like, this is the coolest shit ever. This is a Technicolor nightmare.
I want them to do a triple feature when Maxine comes out, and we watch all 3.
I will kill
for that.
Well, how would you do it? Would you do
here's
it
the order.
in chronological order, or would you do it in movie order?
Somebody I know wrote on their Letterboxd review, they went, the best order to watch these movies is X, then Pearl, then X again for a deeper experience. And I think that's correct. I think that's the way to do it.
So you have to do a quadruple feature,
yes, yeah.
But 2 of the movies are the same movie.
Yes, correct. I would watch them X and then Pearl, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think so much of X is predicated on the mystery.
Yeah.
And on like the what is happening of it, and then Pearl answers a lot of those questions. If you flip it, it's like watching the prequels than the originals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For
that's
Star
very
Wars.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's that. But the next category,
Sci-fi. Favorite sci-fi.
I want you to go first.
You already know my answer.
What is it?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
That is the only answer. I can't believe that I know what you're gonna say.
Here's my thing. I kind of forgot about Everything Everywhere All at Once for this category because I was struggling with so many others.
Yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once is literally, I don't even have.
You want me to throw this way? I think Everything Everywhere All at Once, and again, you know me, I love genre. To me is genre being put down to genre hurts me.
Yeah.
But I think that movie transcends almost even the medium of film in a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah.
That I didn't even think about it as a sci-fi picture.
Bars. Okay. From that perspective, I will allow you to say what you're going to say.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The answer is Everything Everywhere All at Once. But because I want to talk about another movie a little bit more, Nope.
Yeah.
I think Nope is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that movie, like, there's some people who just don't like it, and I'm like, what did you watch that I didn't? After the movie, I waited through all the credits because I liked it, and there was a couple other people still in the theater, and this dude goes, what was the deal with the monkey? And I was just like, that's the point of the movie, dude. You have to figure it out. You know, that's how movies work. You have to think about it. I think Nope is brilliant. I think that movie is about so much, and I think it's important, and I think Jordan Peele is arguably the most interesting voice in film right now.
Yeah.
He's definitely in the top 5. He's in my top 5 of like, I don't care what you make, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's brilliant. I think he's brilliant. I think Nope is brilliant. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is like just unrelentingly brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. We will talk about it some more.
And the next Whatie is Best Action Movie.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it away again.
I have a an honorable mention and a winner.
Okay.
My honorable mention is The Batman, and my winner is Top Gun Maverick.
Yep.
Just yep.
I have a different answer.
Yep.
But I think had I not seen this movie, it would still be that would be my order.
Oh, then I know what it is.
RRR!
Do you have honorable mention? Like, would those be your honorable mentions, or would you add anything else to it?
Look, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once, one of the best action movies of the year.
Yeah, I would. I don't know why I didn't add that in
You
there.
know what I mean? Like, freaking The Batman.
This was a good year for like genre blending as
yes,
well.
it was. This was just a great year, period, for
Yeah.
movies. You know what I mean? But Everything Everywhere All at Once has some of the coolest, most fun, and inventive action sequences. But RRR again takes the cake.
Yeah.
RRR is just this brilliant, and it's like, I just have never, like, I've seen planes fly, not like this, but I've never seen some of the fight scenes I've now seen after RRR.
Yeah.
Dude uses a tiger as a weapon. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, it's so cool.
All right.
RRR, best action movie of the year. We're doing this as a podcast so soon.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Okay, the next one is comedy. And I'll go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, kick it off.
A lot of funny movies this year.
Yes.
DC Super Pets, very funny, shockingly.
Shockingly.
Weird is a very funny movie. Glass Onion is a very funny movie. A lot of really good, funny movies. The Batman is very funny in a dry way.
It has a lot of humor.
Thumb Drive.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great.
It's so good. But I don't even know if this is the funniest movie of the year. But it's the one I think about as soon as you say what's the best comedy of the year, and it is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is wild, and if you watch the sequence when they're on acid and don't have the time of your life, you're not a human being.
Yeah.
It's so good. And Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal have amazing chemistry. Not enough people saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and this is me telling you to see it. Yeah. And in terms of like biggest laugh of the year, it might be from Weird or Glass Onion, and I'm not going to say the Weird one because it's the end of the movie is the biggest laugh, but the Glass Onion one being, it's just dumb. So dumb, it's brilliant. No! It's just dumb is like my favorite joke of the year. It's so funny. Every time I think about it, I hear it in his voice and I laugh.
It's so good.
What is your answer, my friend?
For me, I've got a couple of honorable mentions.
Okay.
Glass Onion.
Yep.
Very, very funny movie. Very, very good movie. Violent Night.
Yeah, Violent Night was a romp.
Hilarious. That movie's great. The trailers came out for that movie and I was like, I'm in. Sexy Santa, please and thank you. And then it was like also like a super fun action movie and really, really funny. I really liked it. Like, look, it's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's a really good one. I really like that movie.
Yes.
And then Elvis for unintentional comedy. That movie is hilarious and it's taking itself so seriously.
Elvis ain't great, fellas. I'm sorry.
I'm the king of the Baz Luhrmann hate club, excluding Moulin Rouge. Excluding Moulin Rouge. I hate everything else he's ever made that I've seen. And Elvis is no exception. And that movie is hilarious, even though it thinks it is a cinematic masterpiece. But my winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That movie's hilarious.
There's literally a fight. There's a fight with butt plugs. What else is there to say? There's a fight with butt plugs.
There's a fight where she kills somebody with a dildo.
Yes, literally. What am I supposed to do? They have hot dog fingers. She gets shot with a bunch of bullets and then turns them into googly eyes and shoots them at people. It's so good.
It is so good.
Can't beat it. And then next we've got Thriller.
The Batman. That's it. That's the answer.
I felt bad that the reason I wanted to add this was I felt bad that the Batman wasn't the leader in any of the other categories for me. And I was like, it deserves its own category. And then, look, it's not like I created the thriller category for it, but like it's such a good thriller. Like, Like that.
I mean,
like,
it's 7, The Way of Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 7 in the Batman universe.
it's so good.
Absolutely love it. Best thriller of the year. All right. Now we're moving into the kind of the big categories, the big Academy categories here.
Okay, so the first Whatie in the like traditional awards segment is best screenplay. Now we didn't do best adapted and best
Yeah, we just did screenplay.
original. We just did screenplay because you never know. You know,
Yeah.
I just want to throw them all in together. I'm gonna let you go first because I'm interested where you're gonna go.
So we've got 2 honorable mentions and a winner.
Okay.
The Fabelmans.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That movie. That movie's something else.
No one saw it and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like a brilliant movie.
Yeah. It's still in theaters.
Good. Go see it.
Yeah, I suggested literally today. Somebody was like, I need to take my mom to a movie. What should I go see? And I was like, The Fabelmans.
It's the perfect mom movie.
It's a great mom movie. Is it?
No, it's not, but take her to it anyway.
It just was the only thing that, like, based on what she told me about her mom, I was like, it's the only thing that's remotely close. The Fabelmans. The Batman.
Yep.
I mean, come on. You can't
Big time.
You
Yep.
can't beat that script for, like, a thriller. Like, it's a good one. And my winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I like what that freaking movie does, and how like it is. I like it literally breaks my brain. It's so good. Like it is so honest
Yeah.
and heartfelt. While like I've talked, you and I have talked about like what sci-fi and what genre can do to talk about the human condition and to talk about like human stories in a way that maybe like others can't. And this movie is like the most exemplary version of that.
Yeah, well, this movie goes farther than any movie with its sci-fi-ness and still never loses track of like the emotional core. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like any other movie would have. Any other movie would have got way too focused on the sci-fi stuff and forgot the humanity. Not this one.
It's got so many balls in the air that it perfectly juggles the entire time. Like the comedy, the action, and the drama, and the sci-fi all at the exact same time, and it perfectly nails every single one the entire time.
Yeah.
Like the magic trick that movie pulls is unlike anything else I've ever seen. Like legitimately will go into history as like one of my all-time favorite movies.
My Whatie is going to go to one you wouldn't expect because it's like, look, the Batman could win it for me.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this other one because I want to talk about
I feel like I know what you're going to say and I should have added it.
the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, I should have added that. I wasn't. I made my list before I saw that, so there's probably some other places where I would have put it.
The Banshees of Inisherin
Yeah.
is the lowest stakes movie ever,
Yeah.
while also being the highest stakes movie ever.
Yeah.
The way it blends comedy and tragedy and juggles different characters going through different things and how it all intertwines. That screenplay is something to be studied and to be like poured over again and again and try to learn how it works.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It is just brilliant. The Banshees of Inisherin. It's on HBO Max. Watch it again, and then watch it again.
That one definitely should have been in my honorable mentions.
It is unrelentingly good.
Yeah, that movie's phenomenal. I watched Three Billboards, and I understood why everybody liked it, but it just wasn't for me. And I tried to watch In Bruges once, and I got stopped. I couldn't finish it. I only watched like the first 10 or 15 minutes. Or no. What happened with In Bruges is I watched the first 10 or 15 minutes and was like, this is not for me. And I want to watch it with people who it is for, so I will enjoy it. Because in this current, I'm not in where I need to be. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to stop it now and watch it with somebody who will like it. But so that's kind of me and Martin McDonagh. But Banshees of Inisherin blew right through that. Like just blew through what my previous experience with Martin McDonagh and just absolutely blew me away. Movie's great.
That's great.
So now we're moving into the big acting categories, the big five, as it's called. First, starting off with most acting. I've said for many years, I've heard it before, and I've continued to say this for many years. The Oscars are not about best acting; it's about most acting, specifically in the best actor and best actress races. Usually, supporting you get a better actual real answer, but for best actor and best actress, usually it's not about best acting; it's about most acting.
Not to say most acting being bad.
No. Thank you for saying that. But sometimes, I think the greatest example ever is the year that Rami Malek won for Bohemian Rhapsody. When
don't even say that while I'm in the room.
Bradley Cooper should have won. That was a much better performance. But Rami Malek had the wig and the mustache and the teeth and the accent, and he did the show. And look, don't get me wrong, it was a really, really, really good performance outside of all of those things. But Bradley Cooper's performance in A Star Is Born is absolutely phenomenal, and he just, because it's so much more subtle, and that is usually where the Oscars go wrong, is in the subtlety. So this is a category for most acting, and the winner goes to the entire cast of Elvis. In a shocking upset, the entire cast of Elvis won.
The entire cast of Elvis just beat Baz Luhrmann for it.
Literally. Yeah, every line in that movie is either whispered or screamed. It is the amount of freaking makeup and Play-Doh on Tom Hanks's face while he uses that insane accent, whispering and screaming about how he is a lonely child in the world and is trying to pull a star from the sky and bring it to the lives of millions of people. It is a batshit crazy movie filled with batshit crazy performances.
That will probably win Oscars.
Fingers crossed there is a correct answer, but we'll see. So, I don't know if Spencer, you disagree with that.
Oh no, I fully. It's Austin Butler from that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not to say he's bad. Again, I think he's excellent in that movie in spite of the movie. But it's such a big performance that I never felt connected in the wrong way.
I would argue that Tom Hanks is doing. Is way more most acting.
Yeah, but Austin Butler's the one we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not we're talking about, but we the collective public.
Yeah.
One honorable mention I'll throw out, and this is a weird one that no one talks about, because most acting is kind of a broad way to look. Michael Wincott from Nope. He plays the cinematographer guy.
Yeah.
He is giving this Shakespearean performance, purple people eater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just so.
That's a great answer.
And it's so good,
Yeah.
but it's also so much.
I mean, also Colin Farrell would be
definitely.
Yeah, in
Definitely.
Banshees of Inisherin, he's gone by. No, specifically in.
Yeah,
no, he's great in Banshees.
He's nice
in the Batman. He's chewing up the fucking scenery in the best way. That is the fun, good version of most acting. Where
the bad version is Tom Hanks.
Is Tom Hanks.
Anyway,
so for the
good ones. Okay, I'm supporting actor. I think you and I are gonna have the same answer, so I'm just gonna let you.
I'm gonna go an honorable mention first.
Okay.
Gregory Mann is the actor who does the voice for Pinocchio in Guillermo del Toro's.
Okay.
That kid is phenomenal.
He's great.
I think
absolutely. And voice performances have literally never been awarded an acting category, and it's a travesty.
And I think that's worth bringing up at the very, and you could probably argue it's probably more of a lead performance than a supporting performance. I don't know. I just put it here because it was worth bringing up because I think that kid is phenomenal in that performance is phenomenal, and his voice is beautiful in the songs in the movie. His voice is so beautiful, and you can just feel the joy and excitement and confusion and heartbreak in that voice. Absolutely phenomenal. No one could have brought a better child, a better Pinocchio than Gregor Mann as Pinocchio. And of course the winner is, again, I'm a white person with a stupid white tongue, so I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly. Ke Huy Quan.
Dude is unbelievably good in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Waymond, because again, he has to play 4 different versions of himself,
and all of them feel real and honest and lived in. Where it's so often you get these kind of ones that are like that, right? Where they're a little bit this one's going to be the over-exaggerated version. It's that's there, but it still feels grounded.
It's so, he has to snap between the mid-scene sometimes in a absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
He's brilliant, and genuinely, if he doesn't win the actual Oscar, it will be a travesty.
If not if like literally, if not just for the performance, for the story. Ke Quan left acting in the 80s because he didn't see roles for Asian actors. There were not leading man roles for Asian actors, and so he felt like there wasn't a place for him in Hollywood. So he stayed. He was doing stunt work and doing fight choreography work, and then a movie came out that brought his faith back into acting for Asian actors, and that was Crazy Rich Asians. He was like, he finally saw a movie where it was entirely Asian actors for an American audience, and it did phenomenally at the box office, and like got all this attention, all these people talking about it, and it restored his faith that like, no, there is a place for me in Hollywood. And it's just like such a touching story.
And I love that him having that moment of realization was rewarded.
Yeah.
I love that it was rewarded with him getting an amazing role and killing it in an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once it doesn't have a does not have a squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
And he is not only not a squeaky wheel, he's kind of one of the driving forces of what makes it great.
Yeah.
And he's so good.
Yeah.
That's the answer. That's my answer as well.
Yeah.
Supporting
actress.
Supporting actress. Mine is actually, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, Carrie Condon from The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh.
She plays the sister.
She should have been on my list.
And she's brilliant. I mean, she is genuinely so
phenomenal.
Good. She draws you in. You feel empathetic for her. You feel her despair and her love and her everything. And she's so good. I loved her performance. And I don't think she's getting talked about enough.
Yeah.
Best supporting
I regret
actress.
not having her on this list. I should have put her on this list. But again, I did most of this before having seen Banshees. So
yeah,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
She's my winner.
I think I'm still going to pick my...
Go for it. Yeah.
I will say she is a an honorable mention for me. Also Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yep. Joy, phenomenal in that movie.
Again, a performance that could have just been the bigness, but is also everything small and little that makes a performance great.
Oh, so freaking good. Mm-hmm. So freaking and again, one of those performances. Like, she's having to play multiple people and snap in between them, and she does it flawlessly. I also, like, funny enough, like, just to bring it up, in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, there is a monkey called Spazzatura, and it's played by Cate Blanchett. Like, she has, like, literally, like, 2 lines of actual real dialogue. The rest of the time is just monkey noises. And it's, like, actually really great.
You really feel for that monkey.
Like, actually phenomenal. Like, it's actually a great... Like, it's super fun. And it's Cate freaking Blanchett.
Yeah.
Just worth bringing up at the very least. My winner is Angela Bassett.
Hey, man.
Holy shit. Like, a big performance to be sure. But, God dang it. She is like, again, we talked about her, we mentioned her in The Scene Stealer. Like, she absolutely tears this movie a new asshole.
She truly does. She's so good.
Yeah.
She made me cry.
Yeah.
And the Have I Not Given Everything scene? Like,
Yes.
I was in tears. I was like, oh.
Literally. Chills. My choice would be Angela Bassett.
Yeah. She's wonderful.
Yep.
Okay. The next Whatie is for Best Actor. Now, I have 2 honorable mentions.
I have 1.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
In The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
He is brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
And call me a shill, but Robert Pattinson in the Batman.
Yeah.
I genuinely, Robert Pattinson plays the like raw nerve character as good as anyone who's ever done it.
Yeah.
In that movie. I mean, he is broken and inward, and like even like the way he'll play like his body physicality in the suit versus out of the suit.
Yeah.
In even private moments, not even just like in public, when he's not wearing the suit in the Batcave, he's like sunken in on himself and doesn't want to talk and can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he'll play a moment of like, he's like, I won that. And then he'll be instantly embarrassed. And you just see it in these micro expressions in his face.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He is brilliant as Bruce Wayne, and he's brilliant as Batman. And he's doing it 90% of the time with a cowl on because he's Batman 90% of this movie.
Yeah.
But you and I took a trip to see The Whale.
Yeah.
And The Whale is a movie I don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like it. It's definitely effective, but I don't know that I like it.
Right.
But Brendan Fraser is unbelievable in that movie. He is so good in every moment.
Yeah.
There's not a frame of that movie where he's not arresting to watch. And it's on like the movie also has good performances for other characters too.
Yeah.
Some great. But without him, that whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
He is, and I love Brendan Fraser. I've loved Brendan Fraser since I was a kid. The Mummy, I grew up on that.
Yeah.
And seeing him do something like this is just unreal, man. He's so good. And he's probably going to win the Oscar, but more importantly, he won the Whatie.
He won the Whatie. For me as well, Brendan Fraser is phenomenal in that movie. And again, like, I think the Oscars love a story. And I think few are better than, I'm similar to Ke Kwan, similar to him. His story, his comeback is so touching. And
Wait. What comeback? We've all been watching The Mummy twice a year since 1992. That's a tweet. I can't take the credit for that's a tweet.
You're not wrong.
But it's no. I know what you mean. His comeback genuinely is he was super abused by Hollywood and cast out, and he's managed to come back in big ways. Not even just like little things here and there, like big ways.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see him again, and I'm so happy to see the love that the film community, and not even like people outside the film community, just people who love Brendan Fraser.
I mean, my dad walked in and was like, "Did you see Brendan Fraser got a 9-minute standing ovation at this film festival?" And he was like happy for him.
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, man."
And he seems like nobody in Hollywood seems as like genuinely kind and deserving.
Oh, I mean, you see him in interviews, and he's just like a kid. Somebody asked him if he would do another Mummy movie, and he's like, "Yeah, those were great fun." Like he's just like, I want to give him a hug, man. Yeah. He talks about being in a Martin Scorsese movie, and he's like, "I'm really nervous." Like, and I was like, dude, I love you. He's wearing a cowboy hat when he says that. It's amazing. Yeah. Playing his Nintendo Switch to relax.
I love him so much.
I love him so much.
And he's phenomenal in The Whale.
And I'm doing a Brendan Fraser deep dive this year.
Oh shit, yeah,
and I'm super excited about it.
I do have an honorable mention, and it is Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Because like, look, I think what is good about his performance is in spite of the movie he's in. Yeah. Because from the physicality of the music sequences to his vocal performance as Elvis are phenomenal. Like, I think he really does embody Elvis in a way we've never seen. I just think that like the movie is so poorly written that it does him a disservice. And like, it's not his fault that the movie is, in my eyes, as bad as it is. But like, I think that his performance, while like, you know, I think with a different director and a slightly different script, or a very different script, would have been absolutely phenomenal, earth-shatteringly great. But in the movie that he's in, I can only give him so much. But very worthy of an honorable mention at the very least, because he just really embodies Elvis in a way.
But if he beats Brendan Fraser,
I'm
gonna lose it.
I will fucking riot. That will be...
The Oscars have fucked up a lot, and this is one that they can't.
This will be a...
And I also think him winning for Elvis this young and this early in his career would be bad for him.
Yeah.
And for his career as a whole, I think this would be bad for him to win this soon. A lot of actors talk about it. A lot of people talk about it where they're like, well, I achieved the top award of this thing. Yeah. Like, it's... No, man.
Yeah, no.
Not saying he's not necessarily deserving.
Right.
But Brendan Fraser just gave a different
level.
Different thing. I mean,
different thing. But knowing
the Academy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Best Actress.
Yeah.
I have two that I've really struggled with.
Yeah.
A lot.
I've got one honorable mention. I'm going to kick it off just real quick.
Yeah.
Cate Blanchett in Tar. We didn't see Tar. but I think we just deserve to.
I think you're gonna have another honorable mention when I throw one out.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. But Cate Blanchett and Tar, we haven't seen Tar, but I've only heard people talk about.
I'll give my honorable mention before we do it.
Go.
Mia Goth and Pearl.
Deal.
Mia Goth and Pearl is like literally one scarecrow straw away from winning. She is so good in Pearl. I mean, she could win an Oscar for the last shot of that movie alone.
The last 10 minutes of that movie.
But I'm saying literally the credits play over the shot of her face as she just starts bawling and smile. She is so good. But there's just one that took it for me.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh.
And
Everything Everywhere All at Once. She gives one of the funniest performances of the year, one of the most heartbreaking performances of the year, one of the most layered and complex performances of the year. I think her and Brendan Fraser give the two best performances of the year, period.
I agree with that.
Followed very quickly by our supporting and the supporting two categories. I think those are, in my opinion, the four best performances of the year. Yeah. Man. It's been a good year for performances, though. In all honesty,
it's been a really, really good year.
For movies, for performances, for cinematography, everything.
I've heard it's one of the best years for female performances ever.
Yeah,
I mean, just
you look at Cate Blanchett and Tar, Mia Goth and Pearl, which she'll get snubbed because it's genre, but Michelle Yeoh and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. Carrie Condon and The Banshees of Inisherin, it's
Michelle Williams, Fableman.
Michelle Williams and The Fableman. She's giving a very big performance, but it's good. And I've heard people say it's distracting, and those people are wrong.
They're wrong.
She's wonderful in that movie. So is Paul Dano. So is everyone in that movie.
Everyone.
Seth Rogen, great.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, a wild Seth Rogen appears,
and he's really good. Anyway, it's the big one. No, it's the last two big ones. I keep forgetting we have the best film or whatever. But the big one. This was difficult in a way that I can't describe.
Yeah.
It hurt me. I don't know if my answer would stand 2 days from now or 10 minutes after I say it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and give my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
For Best Director.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson. For Glass Onion. Mm-hmm. I think the way he moves that camera, the way he propels that story, the way he chooses to give information and hide information and obscure, brilliant. I think the directing in that movie is so much better than people give it credit for. Ty West for X and Pearl.
Yeah.
I think is directing the hell out of those movies. Jordan Peele for What?
Yeah.
Or Nope, sorry. What? That will be Jordan Peele's next movie is just What?
It will be.
Jordan Peele for Nope. The Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Mm-hmm. Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a year, dude.
Yeah.
And the two that are hard, but I think I have to go this way. And for a very personal reason. But I have to go this way. Matt Reeves is my last honorable mention. Because I think The Batman is one of the best directed movies of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I think the way he crafts it and takes it and sees a vision through to the end, unmatched.
Yeah.
But I genuinely gave up hope that I would ever, on a personal level, love a Steven Spielberg movie again.
Yeah.
And I walked out of The Fablemans gushing about how much cinema means to me.
Yeah.
And seeing myself through his story.
Yeah.
I think Steven Spielberg wins Best Director of the Year.
Yeah.
And it's again, the Matt Reeves of it all is the hard part because The Batman was made for me.
Yeah.
But again, the way he moves that camera, the tragedy of how he depicts his character, and in the brutal honesty of how he looks at his own life is something I strive for.
Yeah.
That level of honesty within my art.
Yeah.
I love that. And I can say, and I don't get me wrong, West Side Story is great. I just don't love the story of West Side Story. It's just a West Side Story. We've seen it before. I don't love Romeo and Juliet. Kill me. I don't care. Whatever. But this one I love on a personal level.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that would happen again.
Yeah.
So, Steven Spielberg, you're getting your Whatie.
Yeah. For me, I've also got some honorable mentions. Spielberg is one of my honorable mentions. James Cameron.
I should have said James Cameron.
James Cameron.
If we had a best sequence of the year award, it would be the last hour of Avatar.
Yeah, literally. I don't like James Cameron, But I mean, you have to give props when when
Except supposedly he threatened to beat up Harvey Weinstein for being mean to Guillermo del Toro. So if that's a true story, you win a few points back.
Yeah, you're back on the pile. Yeah, James Cameron, what he does with Avatar is insane.
I don't know how that movie was made.
And if only for that. Matt Reeves, Batman. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by my pick, Daniels, for Everything Everywhere All at Once. As I mentioned earlier, like the magic trick that this movie pulls off with, I mean, like just the multiple universes and the fact that it is juggling the comedy, the action, the sci-fi, and the drama, the emotional core of this movie the entire time and never drops the ball is insane. Like the way that this movie can shift effortlessly between like the sad reality of the Wangs like world to the like pomp and circumstance of Hollywood to like, the rocks on the edge of the cliff in a world where where life doesn't exist on Earth. And like just the way it effortlessly switches between these worlds, these universes, these different versions of these characters is phenomenal. And the way that I like I said earlier, like the way that the sequence, the mother-daughter sequence at the end it's a long sequence, and it holds you right there the entire time. The scene with Evelyn and Wang where Evelyn and Waymond, and he's explaining like how, he is a fighter. He's a fighter as well, and he fights with happiness and joy, is just like,
yeah.
And it's just like, and the way that they like weave these different storylines, these different characters, and like, it is an incredibly special movie. And these are two incredibly special filmmakers and people. I can't not give it to them this year.
Yeah.
Because it is just something else.
Yeah, dude. They're wonderful.
Yep.
Now the big one.
Yep.
I don't think anyone's going to be surprised, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
The Batman.
Yeah.
Just off screen above me is the art book to the movie. Hold my mic real quick.
Yep.
Thank you. I own this, and contained in these pages are posters that I did not get with the book. I got from Little Caesars for purchasing the Batman calzone when the movie was coming out. My faith was rewarded.
Yeah.
The Batman, like I said, I'm the biggest Batman fan in the world. I never thought, after so many interpretations, I never thought I would get my live action Batman. And Robert Pattinson is that to a T. Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle is not only... I own this. Is not only the best live action Catwoman, she is my favorite Catwoman in any medium. I think the way she plays that role is brilliant. I think the world Matt Reeves crafted is the closest we've ever gotten to real life Gotham. I think every performance in it rules. The fact that he wasn't afraid to make it funny, like when the guy grabs Batman's ear on his cowl and he just flips him off and throws him, and he's like, "Now I got you on assaulting an officer. You got me on assaulting 3." Like, nobody thinks Batman would make that joke.
Yeah.
But like, he would.
Yeah.
Crafting it as a true detective story feels so right, and why no one does it is crazy.
Right.
Everyone involved understood that movie and made it specifically for me. I mean this seriously. It was a religious experience.
Yeah.
Like, I cried. I cried in The Batman.
Yeah.
I've watched it 4 times in IMAX, 2 times, and I've seen it 6 times.
Yeah.
I've watched the Vengeance in the Making documentary. I have listened to every interview Matt Reeves has given, a ton of the press stuff with Pattinson and all them. I own the book. I own the pop. I own the giant Lego Batmobile. Like,
He does. I can confirm.
it's amazing. It's amazing. I am the biggest Batman fan. So when I say this is Batman to a T,
Yeah.
it is Batman to a T.
Yeah.
And it made my whole year.
Yeah.
I adore this movie. The music, oh my God, it's so perfectly Batman.
Yeah.
The Batman. Best movie of the year.
Yeah.
My 2 honorable mentions are Everything Everywhere All at Once and RRR. Closely, Nope, Top Gun. So many great movies, but The Batman was something different for me.
Yeah.
It's on my favorite movies of all time list.
Yeah.
And it came out this year.
Yeah.
I'll throw it to you now. Like, I could talk about The Batman forever.
Yeah. For me, I'll start with my honorable mentions because they may surprise you a little bit, just slightly. This one won't. The Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think I agree that it will probably be in my all-time favorites list for sure. So The Fabelmans.
That would be on mine too. It's
that one. For every reason Spencer said about why Spielberg is his director of the year. For every reason he said, like where it's like, just seeing now I loved West Side Story in a way that he didn't.
I love the directing of West Side Story.
Yeah.
To be clear.
So it's like it's like the first time in a very long time that I have fallen in love with a Spielberg movie, and especially one that is so personal, especially to us as filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers, to see a story that personal from Spielberg is something truly special. And then my number 2, which like I showed Megan this, was that last night or the night before? Last night. It watching it last night almost made me consider putting it as my number 1.
Ooh.
But Pinocchio.
Bold.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I have a complicated relationship with someone in my life, and this movie made me realize things about my relationship with that person. And there are in a way that movie that art doesn't really do. It made me realize things about my personal life and the way that I see that person in my life. And some of the issues that I've had with them kind of came into sharp relief, literally based off of one line alone. One line made me realize a lot about my own life. So that movie is incredibly special to me. Incredibly. I'm literally tearing up talking about it. That movie is incredibly special to me. But for every other reason I've already talked about, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't know what I'm going to kick out, but it's going on my top 4 on Letterboxd, and I don't know what I'm going to kick out, and it's literally going to kill me. I've already gushed. Everything Everywhere All at Once is just an insane piece of cinema, an insane piece of art, and we will never see its like again. I guess whatever Daniels
I don't know,
makes
man. It was massively successful, so I think the Daniels have a check to cash.
Yeah, no
kidding.
kidding.
Know what I mean? Whatever they want to do next, they're pretty much doing it.
I hope to God they write something and make something for themselves.
Everything Everywhere All at Twice.
Yeah. Holy shit. I want that so bad. Everything Everywhere All at Once. My film of the year. My film of the past several years. It just... Yeah. It is so special to me in a way.
Oh, trust me, the Batman is that for me. You know what I mean? It's just
100%.
I can't think of the last time a favorite of the year was this impactful on me.
Yeah. So yeah.
Great fucking year for movies, my guy.
No joke, dude. Yeah. Great year for movies. Great year for us.
Yeah.
Finally starting this podcast. Finally kicking it off. It's been super fun so far.
Yes.
No end in sight.
None whatsoever.
The year coming up, we've got a lot more movies we're going to talk about. A lot of big plans. A lot of personal projects that we're going to start working on. So
hopefully we'll have stuff to release on at least 1 or 2 of them somewhat soon. I mean, not crazy soon, but
Yeah.
we'll be able to talk about them more then.
Yeah. So as we
yeah.
start releasing stuff, we'll keep you guys updated. So please keep watching, listening, keep doing the whole thing.
Yeah, like what I would love to see people's lists of their favorite movies of the
Yes,
year. Like,
please.
fill out your categories.
You know what? I will release the Snyder Cut. No, I will release our list, and I would love to see
man.
other people's
I would love it.
version of this. So, you can do that or don't. I don't know. Live your life.
Live it up.